I've posted this on another thread before, but it's still creepy as hell. About 15 years ago, my parents and I were driving from Dallas, Texas to Wyoming for a late summer vacation. It's a very long drive and we decided to break the trip up over the course of about 3 days. At one point we were in a very desolate, sparsely populated stretch in West Texas. There wasn't a lot of traffic and the few small towns we passed along the way had a few houses and maybe a rundown gas station. By the time we passed a couple of buildings, we realized we were already through the town and found ourselves back on the desolate stretch of highway. At some point, I suddenly had to go to the bathroom. I should probably add here that I'm a guy, and unfortunately it wasn't a situation where we could just pull off somewhere and I could go behind a tree. It was the other, and I really had to go. Bad. Just when I thought I wasn't going to make it, we came upon a hole-in-the-wall town with a gas station. The gas station was of course run down, but it had bathrooms that were accessible on the outside. My dad pulled up to the first bathroom and we realized it was the women's restroom. It was clearly designed for one person, though, so I didn't care. I jumped out of the car, ran into the bathroom while trying to undo my pants and barely made it in time. Once I finished my business, I looked around surveying the room. Naturally it was filthy, but beggars can't be choosers, I thought. I looked around and the ceiling tiles were the usual type you see in commercial buildings. They were stained by water damage, which I didn't find out of the ordinary given the condition of the place. One of the ceiling tiles was slightly askew. The place seemed like it was abandoned, but it was clear someone had serviced the bathroom despite its dilapidated condition. Plus, every once in a while I could hear slight movement in the other room, which I presumed was the garage. It was the kind of filling station that had a garage. I stood up and started to pull up my pants, and as I started to button up I happened to look up through the area in the ceiling where the tile was slightly askew, and as I peered up through wiring in darkness, there I saw it. An eye was staring back at me, watching me intently. I froze and immediately looked away. I rushed and finished zipping up, then glanced back up and still saw him looking down at me. I could see a little bit of his face as well. Then I noped the fuck out of there. In my young mind, I was embarrassed because I was in the women's restroom and I thought I was going to get scolded by someone who worked there for being in the wrong bathroom. Years later, after looking back, it's clear that the ceiling tile was moved aside so the creepy guy or guys could peep at unsuspecting girls who were passing through and had to use the restroom there. Still creeps me out to this day.